We're back. As the all right, as the third goes to the fifth string, it has to warp over, so it's no longer off to the left there. It's straight up for a third in the root shape, and then as they both warp over, this goes back to where it was. And effectively, you get this tic-tac-toe shape when they're both warped over. All right, and then we have this first inversion. You warp the 6 over, you get this D shape, backwards D shape thing. You get the G, when you warp them both over, you get this nice G shape, G minor shape. And that's part of G minor, part of the A. So the A chord would be like 5 root 3 right there. Okay, your big G would be over here, but this is where the A is, because Cage goes C, A, G, not necessarily that C. Over here we got the second inversion, which is like an E minor, just way down on string 2, but push it up, and so you got the root coming up to the 5th here. Now you just have this like miniature A minor, right? That's interesting. You have it. That's in the C, with the C as the root. Okay, you have this miniature A minor here. It's like a miniature E minor. So down here, E minor is like this. It's like this. But move it up to the A minor and it becomes a smaller chord, not this. Okay, that would be The Warp Has Ruined My Life song. Alright, but that would sound cool. So now when you push them both through, you get this is the D minor shape. So we're just reviewing a little bit from yesterday. The same thing holds for the majors. Alright, so you have C major here. I don't know why we didn't do G major. I haven't figured that out yet. But it's the same thing. You gotta choose a major. You know, over here I chose A minor to do it. But in today's chart, we have an interesting chart that covers all 3 minors and all 3 majors. So we want to get to that. So we have root here, root position. Push the 5 through the root, and you get the tic-tac-toe shape as part of the E. All right. Now we don't have a minor to worry about. Is straight, read it right off. So push the other one through and we get this. This is root position, part of the A. There's your A, 5 root 3. Okay, so if you just play an A-shaped chord, if you play an A-shaped chord like an A, and you just play these top 3 guys, all right, that's your A. Where were we? Here. Get them both through and you get your D shape. Familiar D shape, everybody knows what that is. Alright? So that's good. Okay, but I think we're down here at this A here. Second inversion. Alright, so you got root, 3, 5, and then 3, 5, root. When it's happening all from 4th string down, push that R through and you get your C shape. You know the C shape. When you're playing your C, your basic... I gotta stop doing that. Okay, so you got 3, you got root, 3, 5, root, 3, 5, root. That's your C. Okay, yeah. Like the banner. Alright, so now when you push them both through, the top 2 through the warp, they go back into their regular looking 5 to root interval, but now the third is closer because both of these guys have moved from here over to here. And that's characteristic of an E shape. You know, that's your third in the E second inversion. So you got your 5, your root, and your third. And now we've got the 5 and the root up here. We had something else too. We had something else similar to that we were talking about before. Second inversion. All right, this is from the from the arpeggio. Okay. So let's just find that second inversion again. We got root, first inversion, and then, okay, 5, root, 3. Alright. I had to warp that one. So it's 5, root, 3. You know, the good old second inversion. Love to play it, you know. It's easy to play that. It's one of my favorite chords on the piano. So move the 3 up, okay, and we get this nice chord here. It's just part of the A. The A, you can see, is 5, root, 3 right there. That is your A. Read it straight off. There's no minor adjustment for it. That is the A. This is the E shape that we know of, okay, and it is even before the warp. And then right here we got the D shape. So that's good. That's good. You know, now with your G shape, you got root. Remember, G starts on G, so it's root 3, 5. Right there's your G shape. Okay, and the first inversion would be right there, 3, 5, root. So here's your G shape would actually start here. All right, being the 5th of the C diagram here, 5, whatever, 5, 7, and to 2, right there. All right, so I think we've reviewed this chart fairly well. Let's move on. Before we get to today's finale chart, we have to cover some half diminished. Boo, half diminished. All right. Half diminished are important. They're good substitutions, but really on guitar they can really take on some really, really cool sounds. So the root shape for the half diminished is 7, 2, 4. Okay, 7, 2, 4. I mean, if you were in a different key, like the key of G, 7 would be F sharp, 2 would be A, and 4 would be C. That would be the 7th chord, quote unquote 7th chord, which is a good thing to play. Okay, so remember this, the half diminished 7th is the 7th of the key of C. But its 7th is the 6th of the key of C because it's one scale tone down. And remember the difference between a scale tone and chromatic. A scale tone follows the scale. Okay? Okay, we're back. I'm not sure how much we missed here. So we have the root shape here. All right, and then you have the first inversion of that, and you have this augmented 4th here. So it's not just a straight up 4th, it's augmented, because remember, this is P4 tuning. Any of these diagrams, or a lot of them, okay? Actually, if I have a string written here, this is 2, 3, 4. This is all before the warp, because it's 2, 3, 4. If I have string 3 here, this is 3, 4, 5. Now we have one warped member. So this 2 is going to go over 1 and forms a new shape there. In the second inversion, we have the 7 going over 1, 2. So we actually effectively have both of these being warped over. Okay, and then we have a new